It's good to have you back. Now, Balwin's Blyde lagoon, or the Pretoria Beach, has been in the news lately. It's all because of a dispute between landlords and developers. Now, this is where the Community Schemes Ombud Service can step in. It's mandated to resolve these types of disputes. The Ombud has now launched a service charter, and it hopes it will improve turnaround times. But for more on this, I'm now joined by Ombud Boyce Mkhize, the advocate, who joins us this morning to take this discussion even further. Advocate, thank you so much for your time, and good morning to you. I'm sure you've seen what's been happening in the news lately with what's been deemed the Pretoria Beach and, the conflict between developers there and homeowners or even landlords. I mean, from your perspective with your organization, how do you think such issues can be resolved? Because I'm sure there are many more, even though they may not pertain to a beach or a lagoon, but whether it's noise levels, pets, etc., I'm sure you receive such complaints in their thousands on a yearly basis.
Good morning, Tumelo, and good morning to the viewers. Thank you for having us on the show. I am particularly grateful that we are able to share our perspectives as the Community Schemes Ombud Service in relation to a number of issues that affect people in the gated communities, as you've rightly mentioned. Yes, we do receive a number of complaints in droves, in fact, that come from various quarters, including the most recent one that has been widely publicized in the media, the Blyde, as it has come to be known, and the lagoon. These kind of complaints essentially indicate some kind of a symptom or a root cause, that is that people generally do not get to engage on these issues much more proactively and with a view to seeking mutual agreements on these issues. And therefore, we come in to try and resolve those particular disputes to ensure that there is peaceful coexistence and that issues that might, of course, be categorized as nuisance are dealt with to the barest minimum. So this is part of what we have to do in trying to resolve and create peace within the communities that people live in.
Yeah, and Advocate, with that being said, how far are you with the backlog, which I understand you're currently dealing with regarding these disputes? I mean, I did mention earlier on, I mean, these are in hundreds, if not thousands of complaints that are received here. How far are you, would you say?
Well, we've quite advanced with the elimination of the backlog. We have, in fact, most recently engaged about 28 additional part-time adjudicators who are going to be dedicated to the clearing of the backlog that we have accumulated over time. And I can say that we are making extremely good progress. In fact, some of the matters that are coming in now, we have a target of resolving each matter within a period of 90 days. Some of the matters, in fact, I can proudly indicate to you that they have been resolved, some of them within a period of 30 days or even less, given the attention that we're giving to service delivery and enhanced customer orientation and service.
Yeah. What are some of the general problems and complaints, I would say, do you receive not only from tenants or even landlords or homeowners, but managers of these complexes, agents alike? What kind of complaints and concerns do they raise with you?
Well, I think you did touch on them early on when we started the interview, but in the main, they revolve around the issues of disagreements around issues of pads, disagreements around issues of parking, disagreements around even some of the ingress and the leaks that perhaps may have been caused by other units into the units of the other persons. And most recently, I mean, one of the biggest one is this one at the Blyde, where there are big issues around what is referred to or what is regarded by the residents as stringent rules and rules that are restrictive in terms of management of their guests and the imposition of certain levies and certain grants that are in fact being imposed on these kind of issues. So we're managing quite a variety of disputes, including the one that has recently been served on us.
Yeah, just on the part of the homeowners, do you think before purchasing, their properties or even their units, do you think they're well informed about what actually goes into living in gated communities? Because I think at times there might be a misconception, misunderstanding, misinformation, and perhaps even expectations that cannot be met. If you're living in a standalone or a house that's not in a gated community, what's the general opinion there of homeowners making that informed decision before purchasing a property or a unit in a gated community?
I think actually you hit the nail on the head. That's precisely part of the greater problem in terms of people understanding what their rights are and their obligations are and their limitations are, or limits in terms of exercising and enjoying their freedoms within the context of a gated community where they live in community with others. The issue that, for example, has arisen within the Blyde has to do with the rules and the changes to those rules and the amendments and the issues around the governance pertaining to that particular structure in terms of the Board of Trustees and the homeowners associations and the meetings and the rules that pertain to the trustee issues and the elections and the voting processes, etc. A number of people hardly, take interest in terms of those kind of issues and pay attention. And in fact, estates also do not do much to actually orientate and induct people in terms of understanding their obligations in relation to these issues. And we think that is one key issue that would resolve a number of misunderstandings and concerns and disputes that arise.
I agree, and I suppose landlords and homeowners watching, I suppose it's one thing for them to also consider. Thank you so much for talking to us. Advocate Boyce, Mkhize, touching on, what you can do as a homeowner, developer, a tenant, what you can consider, of course, before making that purchase in a gated community, so you can avoid, some of the disputes that they are currently dealing with as an organization.